This is Online Pass, the weekly video game news quiz show. My name is Cyril Lachel, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions based on some of the biggest news stories from the past week. It's your job to answer each question correctly, so grab a piece of paper and a number 2 pencil, because this is a test. Question 1. This week, research group Newzoo released a list of the top 100 countries based on game revenue. What country topped the list with a stunning $22.2 billion? Question 2. When Allison Road hit Kickstarter, gamers immediately noticed the similarities to Konami's PT demo. This led to an avalanche of great press, as well as money flooding to the crowd-funded project. With all this success, why did developer Chris Kessler decide to cancel the Kickstarter campaign? Question 3. As you watch this, hundreds of games journalists are busy working on their Game of the Year lists. What you may not realize is that this year there's no reason to crown a Game of the Year, because that honor has already been decided. What PlayStation 4 title is getting a Game of the Year edition re-release on November 25th? Question 4. This week we learned that Grand Theft Auto V's new Lowrider content won't be available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Rockstar isn't the only company slowly dropping support for last-generation consoles. What crucial piece of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has been deleted from Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions of the game? Question 5. It's Sunday the 18th. Which is not Friday the 13th. But hey, that's a smooth segue because there's a new Friday the 13th game on the way. You're gonna play Jason and hunt virgins. Who knows? Maybe it'll be better than the last Friday the 13th game. What was the last Friday the 13th console game? And now the throwback round, where I pull questions from classic game magazines. Brace yourself, the next corner's rough. 19 years ago this month, Next Generation magazine reported that John Romero decided to leave id and form a new company called Dream Design. What infamous company did John Romero actually co-found after leaving id? Okay, put your pencils down, everybody. The quiz is over. Let's see how you did. This just in. Games are popular around the world. To help prove that point, research group Newzoo revealed a list of the top 100 countries ranked by game revenue. Topping the list is China, which managed a staggering $22.2 billion. Don't feel too bad for the United States, who came in at second with an impressive $21.9 billion. It's a steep drop-off from there, with Japan at $12.3 billion, South Korea at $4 billion, Germany at $3.6 billion, and the United Kingdom at $3.5 billion. According to Newzoo's data, the worldwide gaming market accounts for $91.5 billion of revenue. From the moment footage hit YouTube, gamers couldn't wait to get their hands on Allison Road. The first-person horror experience hit Kickstarter with a flurry of press and donations, making the game look like a sure thing. In fact, the campaign was so successful that it caught the attention of Team 17, the publisher best known for the Worms franchise. This led Chris Kessler to cancel the project and move development of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC game to Team 17. Think it's too early to be talking about Game of the Year? Well, you're right. But that's not going to stop Bloodborne from slapping the unearned title on the package. For what it's worth, Bloodborne was one of the best reviewed games of the year and is sure to make a lot of critics' top 10 lists. But even if it truly does end up being the Game of the Year, I should at least wait until the lists come out. Game of the Year editions is what 2016 is for. Proving that you can only hold off upgrading for so long, game companies are beginning to give players real reason to switch consoles. Activision recently announced that the newest Call of Duty sequel, Black Ops 3, will ship without a story mode on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Gamers will still be able to access the online multiplayer modes. Don't expect to know what happened to all your beloved Black Ops characters. You know, like Sarge and Gunner and Trigger. I haven't actually played the series in a while, so go Joe! At the box office, Friday the 13th has managed to scare audiences a total of 12 times. Jason Voorhees is one of the most prolific movie villains of all time, and 25 years later, campers still know his name. But Jason hasn't had the same kind of luck on home consoles. Sure, there's a brand new Friday the 13th game on the way, but before that, the last officially endorsed video game was for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in 1989, this is considered to be one of the worst video games of all time. The new game can only go up from here, right? John Romero had big plans after he left id in 1996. Quote, "This new venture will allow me to focus on different types of games," Romero told a dumbfounded press. His plan was to explore genres away from the first-person shooter space, with a company called Dream Design. But that's not what happened. The designer responsible for some of the most influential computer games of all time co-founded Ironstorm with Tom Hall. Together they made Daikatana, a first-person shooter still being mocked to this day. Just imagine how much worse Daikatana would have been if it had come from a company called Dream Design. Eesh, what a nightmare. Hey, thanks for taking the quiz. So how'd you do? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to share this with a friend. We do one of these every Sunday, so make sure and check back next week for a new episode. In the meantime, we have reviews going up for a bunch of games, including 12 Zeal and Dark Years. Speaking of which, we posted a video looking at the terrible voice acting in Dark Years, so check that out and get ready for the full review on Monday. And, if you're in the mood, click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.